Good morning, everybody. So it's almost 2 o'clock. I'm on Wednesday. I'm headed. Primary goal, well, total goals is gonna check out that cemetery that I said was on this path. As long as it isn't surrounded by like an 8-foot fence or has obvious tons of poison ivy or something, we're gonna go check it out. We'll have tons of time to talk because this walk's gonna take like approximately 3 hours. I would like to assume. Second goal is blackberries. I actually didn't bring any food because I figured it'd be a motivation. Stop at the gas station when we got to the end of the trail. I might snack on a few blackberries if they're looking all right. I don't know why I showed you on the camera. There's like no way you've actually seen anything except a bunch of green leaves. But it is what it is. Second goal, I'm planning on stopping by the thrift shop and see if I can pick up another pair of cargo shorts. Figured I got $10 left. Could probably get a pair for like $6. And hopefully get one that isn't like falling apart like the other couple pairs of pants I got did. The problem is, like, if I wear the pants, or even like the shorts of that stiff material, like the jean or cargo-ish material, and it's even slightly weak, if I'm playing hacky sack or climbing over stuff in the woods, I always rip holes in the crotch. So, and then, that's not the, I guess it's not the hardest place to sew them back together, but I usually assume if they're that weak, it's probably not worth it. Like, the threads would just tear through eventually anyway. So, yeah. Anyways, and then I'm probably gonna stop by Wally World to, I plan to only pick up, like, some ham and turkey and sandwich stuff. She gave me a list before I left. We're gonna have a quick little conversation about good old Grandma. It's been a few episodes. I was walking out the door. She's like, if I'm not here when you get back, they're coming to kill me. I don't know if she's off her rocker, she's losing her mind, if she's playing reverse psychology and she's talking about me, or if somebody finally, seen her for what she was and got kind of irritated. But she's like 80 years old. I highly doubt anybody's coming to kill her. Apparently, no one would ever guess this. But apparently it's over money. Over money. Shocker, right? Good old Grandma in some sort of scuffle with somebody over money. That's newsflash for the century. I didn't ask for too many details. I figured if she was actually worried, she would just lock the door. So, and even if somebody did come to actually cause trouble, I'm not exactly an MMA fighter, and they took my guns, so, not that I would roll over and take it, but there's a high likelihood if there's more than one of them or they have a weapon, there's not really much I'm going to do about it. So, that's the Grandma story of the video. So, alright. Till we get to the cemetery, it's probably going to take about 2.5 hours by an estimate. I have approximately 3.5 hours till I need to be on the bus. So, I should have plenty of time to work all this out. And as I said, we'll have plenty of time to talk. So I'll be taking periodic breaks. If I see bikes coming or people, or I need to get a drink, because I tend to, when I talk on camera, I'll talk for 45 minutes without a drink, because I just either don't want to stop the clip, or don't want to get in my bag, or don't want to move the camera around to unscrew the lid or whatever. So I'll probably take periodic breaks from this. Probably like every 15 minutes. I'll shoot some clip and then walk on for a while, then shoot some bugs, man. little bugger was biting me too. It's a weird fly-looking bee thing. Yeah, well, there's nothing here that's dreadfully poisonous. So I figured with this new, I don't really want to get my hopes up, but with this here girl thing, we're gonna finally have this like conversation with like what I look for, what I see in relationships and stuff. Some of it's gonna be repeated because I kind of touched upon the subject throughout several videos. I kind of want to do this a little bit more conclusive, a little bit more matter-of-factly, than just a passing comment. So, sorry about that. Now, what I look for, like, we'll talk vain first, looks, outward appearance. It's always been kind of like, you have to be, for me to be interested, be genuinely interested, without having to, like, put effort into it, like, to actually be interested, you have to look like you could do what I do. Like, you have to look like, maybe you have to look like you could walk 3 miles very easily with no sweat. So it's not all vanity, it's not all me being like, ew, gross. It's just, like I said, I'm not going to keep reiterating this, but I touched upon a few of these things in a couple of videos. I'm just going to go on with this, but, if you have, like, 150 pounds of extra weight, or a couple of kids, you're probably not going to want to, or be capable of doing this kind of stuff. And so that's like, that kind of, that's like a big check mark in the no box, As far as attractiveness is concerned, I mean, I don't think I really set high standards. I mean, presentable. I don't go for, severely unattractive girls, but I definitely don't go for, like, the Barbie doll motif. So, like, if you're wearing, like, super short skirts and a bikini top and, 5 pounds of makeup and, twerking on a fire hydrant somewhere to get male attention, you're probably not my type. I don't care how far you can walk. And if I'm not physically attracted to you, like, you're so unattractive that I'm just not attracted to you, I'm not going to put the effort into, go for it, I'm looking for that. I'm one of those guys that I don't want to say I settle, but I'm looking for a happy medium, A perfect 10 to me is probably like a perfect 7 to most people. That's just how it is. It's just, you can have too much of a good thing sometimes. Attitude-wise, I always liked... It's hard to explain. Like, I've always been more into a chick that's more submissive, because I'm a fairly technical thinker. So like, when I come up with a plan of action, it's usually fairly well thought out. So I don't like being questioned. Now, with that being said, I don't want a girl to just take everything I say as, like, quote-unquote gospel. I want somebody that isn't afraid to interject their opinion if they have a genuinely good idea. It's like I said, I always kind of shoot for the middle of the road. Like, it's just kind of, I don't want somebody that's so outgoing and so opinionated that they always have an objection to every plan I ever have. I want somebody that's willing to interject if they genuinely think they have a good idea. And genuinely is helpful. Not just, we should do it this way because I said so. You know, just not how I do things. And I always kind of go for like the bubbly Disney princess kind of hopping around kind of cuteness. Like I always kind of like that kind of thing. Like two of my past girlfriends, like a little bit of makeup and funky clothes, they could have passed for like cosplay elves, like easy. And that was before I was a nerd. That's before I really delved into my nerdiness. It was just like a stereotypical type. You know, relatively thin, fair skin, bubbly, hoppy personality. You know, nothing like the biggest turn off to me has always been like how promiscuous one can be. Like, if you've been with more people than years you've been alive, so like if you're 20 and you had 20 partners, you're probably not my type. Like, don't get me wrong, it's okay to mess around. I mean, I did it. Could potentially do it again. But it's, you know, there's a limit, you know? If it's that easy to get, I don't really want it. And it's like everything in life. If everybody else could just walk out and get it, you know, it's less appealing to somebody that wants it. In most cases. So, and that's actually, like, lying, cheating, and being super loose is probably like the three biggest downsides. Like, I would rather have an overweight, unattractive woman with 3 kids than a liar and a cheater that slept with more dudes than, I don't know, what's a good celebrity analogy? Slept with more, who's known for, who do I not care about at whatsoever? Slept with more dudes than Snooki. There we go. I'm sure she had her fair share. But, like, that's a bigger turnoff than physical appearance. Like, hands down. Am I wrong? Maybe. It seems like the older I get, the more I realize that, you know, if people ain't set in stone with who they're with, it's kind of like a free-for-all. And neither one of those things are for me. I don't want to be forced into a relationship where I'm unhappy. And I don't want to just, like, pork everything that walks my way. You know? Middle ground. Middle ground. That's like the title of this episode. Middle ground. Cemetery exploration and middle ground. And I mean, to be completely honest, I believe wholeheartedly that most of my outlooks kind of tread that middle ground line. Like, yeah, like I said, when it comes to lying and stuff, I get pretty serious about that crap. Like, we're gonna go a bit off topic, but if you care about a relationship and you want something to last, or you want somebody's support, and you want something to mean something, you don't lie to people. So, like, if you're dating somebody and they lie to you about something, even if it's stupid, like they lied about going to Spencer's for XYZ reason, because they were getting something that was risque. And they were like, 20 minutes late to a date because of it, and instead of telling you the truth, they either straight up deny it or make up a lie. Like, if you cared about the relationship, you know, you could at least said, hey, I was at this store, I had to stop and pick something up, yada yada yada. But you straight up lie about it, and you obviously don't care about the relationship that much, you know? Like the government. If you want people to support your ideas, and you're training your military to fight for the right reasons, why lie? Why are there so many lies? This is the off-topic part, you know? Like, if you're going for a just and happy goal that's going to secure everybody's future within the bounds in which the region that the government encompasses, why would you lie to your people? Why would you lie to your soldiers? It doesn't make sense. If you're telling the truth and truly fighting for the right cause, if you're truly in a relationship and truly want it to last, why lie? Bike, I'll be back. There are a bunch of kids, well, younger than me. Check out those flowers. I never seen them before a couple of years ago. I never seen them before a couple of years ago. Like, never once, all my time in the woods, all my time going around, you know, never seen one of those flowers. Now I see them, like, almost all the time. I don't know what they are. I mean, they gotta be an invasive species. I mean, they couldn't have just popped up all of a sudden. Well, I mean, that's what an invasive species is, but I mean, they didn't just pop up all of a sudden. I would have noticed them before. It's whatever. So I basically covered, I think we basically covered all my bases in a sense. I mean, that's what kind of makes this here, like, scenario, if something were to happen, just kind of, like, strange, because, like I said, I'm trying not to second guess it, trying not to let those seeds of doubt grow, but this chick, she really is kind of, like, spot on for what I would go for, so, which is, you know, why I talk to her, obviously, but it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to let it bother me. Like I said, she probably won't ever talk to me again anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But, I don't know what the heck I'm doing half the times anyway, so I'll just roll with it when it happens. One thing, I might not be the smartest guy in the world, but I tend to think on my feet, you know, halfway decently. So we'll see how it works out, for the most part. Depending on the situation. I think on my feet very well, depending on the situation. So I imagine we're probably about a fifth of the way there. That's something. Maybe more of like the 6th or a 7th. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Actually, speaking while walking kind of makes it slightly less boring. Especially when it's like completely flat forever. So what's new? You know what? Let me think about it for a minute. See if there's anything else worth talking about. As far as relationships are concerned, you know, it's pretty much cut and dry. You know, middle of the road, give and take. You know, shoot for the best, but prepare for the worst. Would be like that would be like my super short motto for relationships. Don't aim too high. Don't settle too low. try to enjoy the best you can, but, you know, expect the worst because that's life. Unless you're a Chad, I guess. So, I was down at the thing. I was talking to some older lady. One of the dude's, I guess, girlfriend that bought me the beer. The one that I didn't know that bought me the beer. I was talking to her. And I don't know how we got on the subject of dating. Or something. And I was like, yeah, there's so many, like, Chads around. And she's like, what's a Chad? I'm like, well, you ever hear of, like, the stereotypical complain to your manager, you know, icon for a Karen? Well, I was like, a Chad's kind of like somebody that wears, like, name brand clothes, has their hair, you know, not a hair out of place, and, you know, drives daddy's Porsche while, you know, rocking mommy's credit card. Yeah, that's like the internet stereotype of a Chad. Like, you know, how they have, like, the Karens and the boomers and doomers and whatever else rhymes with oomer. And, that's my, and I think it already existed. Like, I don't think I'm the first person to come up with it. I probably heard it somewhere before, but that's what a Chad is. They get everything handed to them their entire life and act like a big shot when they're really nothing. Oh, in the grand scheme of things. I guess when you look at it, you're like, well, what do you mean that they're nothing? Like, you say something like, oh, well, I could build a fire with 2 sticks. And they could just be like, well, I could pay someone to build a fire with 2 sticks. I don't know. World's unfair. Life's unfair. Society's unfair. Freaking video games are unfair. Like I told dudes, I was getting a bit bothered by this one kid because I'm pretty sure he purposely, you know, was messing up to cheat the rules to win the battle that we were having. And I was like, you know what, man? The only mistake I ever made in this game in life is expecting a fair fight. You know, if you're going to fight somebody, most people, you know, ain't looking for that fair fight. Most people don't, you know, think they're gonna, you know, square off in a ring. If somebody gets mad enough to actually fight somebody in today's society, considering the repercussions, they usually, you know, try to be sneaky and stab them in the back, or, you know, jump them with their buddies. I'm the guy that's still in the dark ages. It's like, you know, grab your pistol and let's do 10 paces. You know, like, hop in that boxing ring and, you know, I win. I never see your face again. You win. I don't know, you win the princess or whatever the heck we're fighting about. So, it doesn't work that way. People are just as much scumbags. Like, it probably never actually worked that way. Like, it's probably just Hollywood and movies. Like, I think people were scumbags for as long as time existed. As long as people were on the planet. In the core, the grand scheme of things, as a human person, as an animal, a beast, you see something you want, your mind automatically thinks of how I can get it. And it's not always a good way. And I would only imagine with less restrictions on people, there was a lot more misdeeds to get somebody's prize of whatever it is they want. So, I guess in some sense it's something society got right, but, you know, just like video games, they always find a way around it, you know? Like, cheat codes, so to speak, or pay to win, sense of entitlement, scamming and tricking people. Like I said before, the rules only matter if you're afraid to get caught. The rules only matter if you do get caught. Unless you're me and actually have some level of respect for rules, as long as the rules make sense. Like collecting rainwater. Like, that's like the dumbest rule in the world. Why can't I collect rainwater? And it's kind of like the best thing I could think of is that you can't collect rainwater because it can't be regulated. It can't be sold. It can't be taxed. If you set up your own well again, like back in the good old days, and you want it off of the city water, then it would, they wouldn't be able to, nickel and dime your income. If you set up your whole house with solar panels and got off the grid for your town's electrical company, especially my electrical company, because my electrical company has a scam going on all in itself. The electric is sold through my town, and they buy it from a company. So they pay a company the price and then upcharge the citizens, and you have no other choice. A lot like our cable companies and stuff. Like, you have basically one or two options, so they can pretty much charge whatever they want. And there's not much anybody can do about it. Just, me, just trying to rationalize things. There's really no rational thought to it besides the people in power, the people that have money, want more. And the people that don't have any can't get their hands on power to get any. So it's an endless snowball effect of most people getting more miserable, and other people, securing a better and better future for their families, while other people are basically living on the dirt. It's kind of it's a real poopy situation. See, the reason I talk like this a lot of times is that I've seen a lot of different walks of life, so to speak. I've probably mentioned it before, but I hung out with a millionaire, no joke. And a millionaire in some places, that's not even that big of a deal, but to me, a millionaire is like a step above, what I could accomplish. And I hung out with homeless guys, I've seen, considering my travels and age and people I've spoken to, I've seen a fairly big amount of, a broad spectrum of lifestyles. So, like, when you really think about it, like, I seen a bunch of cops down at the bus station, right? And the one cop's like, these scumbags, they always hang around the bus station all day. I look at him and I'm like, do you think they want to spend all day at a smelly, crummy bus station? Like, yeah, they're probably scumbags. Yeah, they probably spend all day there, but do you think that's what they want? Of course, he just shrugged me off because he got a badge and I'm just a nobody. But, it's just, I get to actually think about things in more than one way. And it's not always a good thing. Because, sometimes if I didn't have that knowledge, I would probably question less and worry less and not think what if so much more. Because as much as I want to be that guy that's like, oh, nothing's set in stone, reach for the stars, you can do it, the longer I'm alive, the longer I wholeheartedly feel that there's been a plan in motion from the day you were born, maybe beforehand. and you can try to fight against it. You might make small changes. In its entirety, it's kind of set in stone. Alright, so I don't know where I left off. I walked for a little bit, hit a nice shady patch, and wanted to cool off a bit. Getting a little bit overheated. Nothing to worry about, you know. I don't worry about it till I'm actually sick in the stomach and actually have a headache. Right now I just kind of feel bleh because of the sun and the heat. And it's the bad part is it's not even that bad today. That's what I'm talking about. It's one of my biggest drawbacks, well, besides the bugs. I think it's only 85, which is still bad. I still prefer 70, but that's not that bad. Shouldn't be that bad yet. Snake. But we'll talk about this here thing I mentioned about water and electricity and junk, you know. It's good to have that stuff on tap. You know, it's fantastic how far the world's come to do these things that they do. Like having water directly at your house at a virtually unlimited supply. Having electricity at your house at a virtually unlimited supply. That's fantastic. But when only so many people control it, and they nickel and dime the citizens until it's worrying if you're going to be able to keep your house or not, that's when it gets to be not so great. That's when it turns into from an amenity to a crutch. Something that's so good that got turned into something so bad over greed. I personally don't know how much what it takes to make so much electricity. I don't know exactly what it takes for maintenance for water and stuff. I never sat down and looked it up. I never did the math. But I can tell you right now that somewhere near my town, they built a brand new multi-million-dollar hydroelectric power plant. Alright? Now you would think that having that power plant near our town would mean electric bills would go down, or they would spike to pay for the construction and then drastically decrease once the construction was paid for, because that would be fair. But what I hear is that not only is the electric bill going to go up, the power they're producing is being shipped off to New York City. Why? Why? Why would you ship power thousands of miles, hundreds, thousands maybe, quite a ways away, when you could just tap it into the main system, provide power locally, and diminish what power you're outsourcing, and then the power that's being used from outsources could ship that to New York. I don't think it would be that difficult. It'd be pretty much as simple as disconnecting one line and connecting in a new line. It'd be as simple as making the power plant the primary source of power, and maybe even keeping the outsourced power as a backup. And you just pay for what you use. So that all the infrastructure that was built around having that power transported in doesn't screw the outsourced people. So you're not just closing a contract because you finally did it yourself. Keep it fair. Be okay, we had you for a really long time. It was fantastic. You did us pretty well. We made some green off the deal, but now we have our own power plant. So we don't want to, put you up Poop Creek. So how about this? and we don't want to, run lines from our power plant to transport the power out, because, why would we? How about we use your power to supplement our power, and vice versa? It just makes sense to me. That would just make sense to me. But no, apparently, a multi-million, maybe multi-billion-dollar power plant is outsourcing all of its resources to another area. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Except, here's one way it makes sense. They're paying more money. And that goes right back to greed. They're getting a little more out of it, so screw the people in the town that it's actually, housed in. It is what it is. Alright, I'm going to go for a bit again until I think of something else to rant about. I'm not sure how far I am, but I need to keep drinking some water. When I get to the crossroad thing, I think I'll chat again. Shouldn't be more than a mile and a half away. Oh man, okay. So I don't know. This seems like it is ever so slightly more work than last time. I don't know if it's the temperature. I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a slight uphill gradient instead of being a slight downhill gradient, because I was coming the opposite way last time. But I am getting hungry. Getting real hungry. I think the next person that stops by, I'm going to tackle them and we're going to have a barbecue. I'm just kidding. I don't eat junk food. Oh man. Tell it's one of those days, man. I was walking along singing Jason Mraz songs because I was so sure I wasn't going to run into any people, and I was right. They were all close to the beginning of the trail. It was like 5 people, and 3 of them were in one group. The good news is, I think we're almost there. Actually, I think we're really close, because I think that's the water treatment plant that we passed before. So I think it's actually right around this corner. I think. Just wanted to have a quick little note. Still alive, still walking, maybe a bit more delirious. This does feel ever so slightly more difficult, but I do believe that this is a very small uphill gradient in compared to being a very small downhill gradient. Can make quite the difference on a very long distance. So, not complaining. It's quiet, and I have been complaining that I want to do more real life stuff, and this is about as real life as it gets, minus other people and social standards. I mean, nice quiet trees and woods, decent breeze, okay shade as long as I stay to one side of the trail. So I can't really complain, because this is technically what I asked for. I was like, I want to do more, real life stuff. Well, here I am. I mean, usually my hindrances are weather, money, energy sometimes. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing anything. I changed medical insurance, right? I had to, because my other provider was no longer servicing our area, I guess. So I had to get a new medical insurance provider, right? And apparently this is some sort of big deal, because I wanted to change family doctors as well. Because my initial family doctor is really freaking old. Really old. Actually so old that most of the times that I go to my family doctor, there's somebody else there in her place. So I decided I wanted a second opinion, and here comes a bike after all this time. I think I've been walking for 30 minutes, and not a single person passed me. Alright, so we're technically here. It's the, we gotta climb off the trail onto the road here. I think we're approximately 30 minutes ahead of our estimated time of arrival. ETA, for people that care. I'm taking a break on this bench in the shade, try to make sure I have my composure. It was a bit of a journey. It took a little less time than I thought, but that heat, man, it gets to me. Sit in the shade for a little bit, I'll lose the hat. Gotta see a bit of my hat lines. That's where my hat sits. But, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I gotta get better walking shoes. I gotta keep these for specifically cutting grass because I can already feel myself wearing holes into them. But I gotta start just wearing my boots, suck it up, deal with a little bit extra weight. It wouldn't be a bad thing anyway. But, anyways, so, change of family doctors, right? I have a few minor issues. One could be serious, right? And I went to my family doctor when I wanted to get my physical to try to get my permit so I could be told that I'm allowed to drive a car. Because that's what people do here. Now, that's irritating too, by the way. Like, I drive better than a lot of people that have their license. A lot of people that have their license admit that I drive better. Because I don't have the right resources to take the test. I didn't have a car to practice in. Like, every time I had my permit, I never had all the pieces of the puzzle at the same time. So, it was a bit of a pain. But anyways, I went to get my physical because I was told that someone was going to let me use their car to get my license, and yeah. See how that worked out. I got my physical, I ain't got no license. So, the doctor, she was cool and all, but I feel like I want a second opinion. Because the stuff she gave me for one of the problems seemed to, like, do nothing or make it worse. So, I wanna have a chat. I wanna have a chat and see if anybody else has a different opinion. I have a bad feeling, but that's about all it is. Alright, I found it. I don't know how far back it is this road, it is, but we're gonna take a look. There are signs everywhere saying you're not supposed to be here, but it's a cemetery. Like I don't understand how somebody can keep people out of a cemetery. It's broad daylight. I'm obviously not coming back here to party, so hopefully nothing bad happens, but people can be donkeys. People can be donkeys sometimes, so we'll see. We will see. I'm not entirely sure how far this is gonna be. Apparently, it's fairly well maintained because there's new signs over top of old signs. So, people do come here. I'm starting to go more and more uphill, so I genuinely kind of hope it's not too far, because I am hungry. I am ready to get me... What do you guys think? Chicken wrap? Turkey wrap? Turkey wrap? Energy bar? And some green tea? Sounds super hippie, right? Super hippie. Energy bar, turkey wrap, and green tea. And you get like some vegan tofu sub sandwich instead, and be super hippie. Oh. I'm waiting, like any second now. Someone will pop out from behind a tree, be like, how dare you want to come to a cemetery? Go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Alright, I'm sorry guys, but if it isn't around this corner, I think we might save this adventure for another day. I didn't think it would be this far, and that heat's killing me. Absolutely killing me. Instead, there's a sign that said up the road and to the right. Now, I don't remember on the map it being this far. Oh man, is it the heat? Or am I getting old? I think I see a clearing through the trees. I'm not going to let you guys down. In reality, I'm not going to let myself down, because I kind of want to see this. And now we're already basically there, so we got to see it, right? That guy that's always like, oh, it's only 10 more steps. 10 steps later, oh, it's only 10 more steps. 10 steps later, oh, it's only 10 more steps. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it. Yeah, it's old. Oh, now, climb up this without dying. Alright, mission accomplished. What is back there? I think with all the posted signs, I think we'll stick to the goal and then leave. I hate people that think they can own large portions of land just because they have money. You can't walk here because I have money. Screw you. I mean, these things are ancient, man. I'm not going to read them, even if I could, because I don't know how many times I already slipped up about where I live and stuff. So, I don't want to give away too much information. Now, this was, I think, 1790 something. So, this could be like, that's like close to Civil War era, I think. Don't quote me there, because I'm not a history buff. Fairly intricate tombstones, too. It's not a very big cemetery, but a lot of them like this ain't. This was established for a specific town. Alright. Seen about all I can see. Think we'll head back, do some shopping, get some food. At least it's mostly downhill now until I get to the road. So once I get to the road's uphill, like quarter of a mile, eighth of a mile. Some distance of uphill I don't want to travel. But there are flags here. New ones. So people come back here. I don't know if they have it posted because kids were partying back here, or if they have it posted because it's so close to a power line. But either way, that's kind of scummy, because if kids are coming back here to party, I don't think they're going to care too much about a sign. That's the thing about some of these rules, you know? If they're putting them up to stop people from breaking other rules, what they're really doing is making rules for people that follow rules. So they're putting restrictions on me, even though I have good intentions, or not, okay, maybe not good intentions, but not bad intentions. So they're putting restrictions on me, and I don't have bad intentions. And the people that already have bad intentions I don't think they're gonna, most of them ain't gonna care too much about a sign. So, you know, that's always a problem. Like, yeah, it's a deterrent, but you're deterring good people from going out and doing things, and you're just adding another, you know, rule broken to the list of ne'er-do-wells rep sheets. And don't get me wrong, I am by no stretch of any imagination a goody-goody. Like, I guess now I kind of am, but I mean, for the most part, I am not a goody-goody. So, like, I'm not saying it. Well, I mean, I just disobeyed the signs. So you get what I'm saying. I am a firm believer in rules. I think having structure in society is a good thing. But I think we went too far. I think there's some rules that are just ridiculous. Like, you can't walk here. Well, you can't have a gun. What kind of joke is that? People that are illegally getting guns ain't gonna stop because you tell them no. What you're gonna do is keep the good law-abiding citizens from being able to defend themselves. In my eyes, this is a problem that should have been foreseen. No combat arms should have ever been made anywhere in the world. Experimenting, learning new things, making, you know, hunting rifles, that's cool. But, you know, making weapons specifically to battle other people or defend yourself in a sense of fully automatic or whatever, just adds fuel to the fire. It's like the Cold War or whatever, or the arms race or whatever. You know, you start out with a bow and arrow, and you know you're facing down an opponent. The opponent makes a gun. Then you're figuring out how to make, you know, piloted attack drones. You get what I'm saying? It just gets out of hand. You just want to keep getting bigger and bigger until it gets to a spot where, you know, one wrong move and people are destroying the entire planet. For children that don't follow politics, much like me, what I'm trying to say is, you ever watch Dragon Ball Z? And they start out where their power level they can shoot a beam and blow up a pumpkin, and then like by the end of Dragon Ball Super, they can shoot a beam. They can shoot a beam and blow up like a reality. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a very juvenile and stupid way of looking at it, but it is in fact the truth. You go from wanting to make your life easier to wanting to destroy other people against a threat that should never have been there in the first place. Maybe I'm just talking out my pooper. Maybe I'm just making up. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I know I'm not the smartest person in the world. Like, probably not even close. But if I can see this, if I see this, other people have to see this. I just don't understand. I really don't. It's like, is our world really so far gone? Is our lives so far gone? Well, I guess mine is. I mean, by American standards, I'm about a third of the way dead. So, and that's considering good health, not, you know, getting hit by a car or struck by lightning or a heart attack. So I guess my life is mostly over, at least the good parts. Alright, we're getting back to the main road. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Oh yeah, and dude that commented, thanks for the good words. I don't exactly know what the heck you're talking about, but appreciate the comment, and feel free to chat me up anytime. I'm usually not too far away from the computer.